Hi everybody, we are live on Facebook Live. Welcome. Today we are having a conversation by the water here in downtown Fort Lauderdale, and we have a special guest with us today. His name is Sean Russell. He is the founder of Soflo Vegans, and before we dive in, I just want to put it out there that I'm actually not a vegan. So in meeting Sean, I got a chance to learn a whole lot about this lifestyle, and there's a lot of really wonderful benefits as to why maybe thinking about a vegan or vegetarian lifestyle is worthwhile. So we're gonna learn more about that today with Sean. So no further wait, let's go ahead and meet Sean. Welcome.
Hey, glad to be here.
So tell us what's going on with Soflo Vegans. What is that?
Man. Well, yeah, Soflo Vegans, we started in 2015 and launched our website just recently in May 2017. But since then, we've been hosting events, working with a lot of different organizations. Our goal is to help make South Florida become a global hotspot for veganism. So our focus is in helping the community, one, realize that it's not hard to become vegan, but being a source of support for you. And just if you have questions or you need advice, we'll have events, we'll have information on our website that you can go to. But we understand that everybody gets to a certain point at their own time. We just want to be there for you when you're ready. So it's not like we're gonna be hitting you over the head, hey, become vegan, become vegan. It's really, we're all a community. And the only way that we're all going to come together is if we are, compassionate and care for you regardless of what you eat. So we want to stand for that.
Well, tell us about your journey into that lifestyle. So first question, are you vegetarian or vegan?
Oh, I'm vegan.
So you are vegan. Okay.
I'm vegan. I'm one of the rare individuals that went straight from not being vegan to straight vegan. There wasn't a transition period. I guess there kind of was, because I've always eliminated certain foods from my diet. So I went like 5 years without eating chocolate. I went, I stopped eating dairy in 2003. So, and that's usually when I speak to people, the hardest thing for them to do. It's like the one thing that's like, oh, I can't give up dairy.
Cheese. I love cheese.
So,
I know.
So, I mean, but the good thing is, especially now, there's so many alternatives, good alternatives that are out there. And it's like, I look at my feed and there's a new company that's releasing a different type of cheese. It's like they're listening. They're listening, saying, oh, I want to be vegan, but I don't like vegan fill in the blank. So it's like they're really working hard to create great tasting alternatives. And the trend is leaning towards that way. There's research out there that's showing alternative milks are now taking over market share for the dairy industry, for the milk industry. More people are turning towards almond milk, soy milk, coconut milk, banana milk. There's, fill it in whatever milk. There's options out there for people. So it's a great time to, if you've ever thought about being vegan, to go out and look out for the information. And luckily there's a place on the web that you can go to, but we'll talk about that a little bit later.
So it sounds like then your specific journey was actually incremental, and so step by step, slowly you started removing a couple items, and that made the transition a little bit easier.
And I actually got off on a tangent a little bit. I didn't answer your question directly. So yes, it was incremental, and then in 2008 I decided, hey, if I just did this one thing, I'd be vegan. So I did it. It was probably a good 3-4 months, not an issue. And I tell this story, especially in the vegan community, I get a couple of chuckles. I went to LA, of all places, and that's where I fell off being vegan. And if you're not laughing, you don't realize that LA is considered the mecca of veganism in the United States. But it just goes to show you, if you don't have the resources and the information, it's easy to not be able to sustain your lifestyle. So that's kind of the reason that in 2013, when I was a little bit more prepared, I went vegan again, and I've been vegan since. So as people come up to me and start asking questions, I'm thinking in the mindset, okay, what information can I provide them so that way they don't experience what I experienced in 2008?
Right, sure. So South Florida Vegans, then, how big is Soflo Vegans? How big is the community? Is it also on Meetup? Like, how big is this community?
So Soflo Vegans, we're in pretty much all the major platforms: Meetup, Instagram, Facebook. Under Soflo Vegans, you can check us out. You want to email it SoFloVegans@gmail.com. So we try to make it as super easy for you. And so far as the size of our audience, we started off as a meetup group, so that's probably like where our biggest presence is. But really, I would say the strength of Soflo Vegans is in the connections we're making within the community, not just the individuals, but in organizations and businesses. We do a lot of work with nonprofit organizations. You know, there's an event coming up in April on Earth Day. We're going to be working really closely with Heal the Planet, a great organization you should check out. So I would say our community is really embedded in not only people, but in other organizations as well.
And we were talking a little bit earlier about that maybe there's three kinds of reasons, three different reasons why people turn to veganism. And one of those was because of concern of animals. The other was, do you remind us of what all those were?
And let me just preface this with, this is my interpretation of why people become vegan, because I'm sure I'm going to get a couple of comments of, well, that's not the only reason. But this is what I've sourced. This is what I've gathered from the conversations I've had and from my personal feelings. So one, definitely for the animals, for animal advocacy. Two, for health. A lot of people come into it for health reasons. There's powerful things that can happen when you go on a raw vegan diet. It's known to reset a lot of illnesses and conditions. And then the third is for the conservation and the environment, you know, looking at your footprint. And kind of what I was talking to you earlier about is that what I've noticed that the conversation leans heavily towards the first two. And even for me, you know, just recently I've been having more conversations about the conservation side and the environment side. And when you start to realize, you know, what changes you can make, small changes you can make, but that's changing your lifestyle, the way you eat, how it can, you know, make a big change, it really drives me to say, okay, let me focus on three of these elements as much as possible and bring in different voices to help the community.
I love that. And it's a really good point that, you know, whether you're an animal advocate, whether you are looking to improve your lifestyle and your health, or whether you do want to actually make a bigger impact in your actions and the lifestyle that you're living. Of course, that's something that we talk a lot about, is changing the little things in your life that actually do end up making a big impact in our ecosystem on this planet. For instance, I was just telling Sean earlier that I read an article that there's 3 meat processing, dairy processing manufacturers in the entire world that are producing more CO2 emissions than Exxon, or actually than the entire country of Germany. And that's a huge amount, considering that Germany is actually the largest contributor to CO2 emissions in all of Europe. And so we're talking about just the production of meat and dairy and the processing of just those 2 agribusinesses is contributing more to devastating our environment than anything else, which is shocking. I was really surprised to hear that. And, you know, a point to bring up is that even if you may not be ready to get, you know, to not be eating your steak or pork or bacon, something that you can consider, though, is that you can actually be supporting small local farmers, and they actually feed and treat their animals differently. It's reducing the amount of emissions from cows. So in other words, the feed is affecting their diet, and so there's less CO2 farting happening in the atmosphere to contribute to emissions. And they also treat the land differently. So buying local actually does also help out a lot if you're not quite ready to make the full leap into veganism. But we don't want to take too much of Sean's time, but we did want to bring up something exciting. If you want to learn more about the Soflo Vegan community and come outside, enjoy this weather, enjoy our beautiful waterways, and maybe even learn a little bit more about the sustainability side of what it's like to be vegan, come and join us on Sunday. What's going on?
So on Sunday, we have an amazing event. We're going to be kayaking in Dania Beach, and this event would not be possible without you. So thank you so much.
No problem. I'm excited.
And I'm excited because I shared with you a few months ago that I am not a huge fan of the water, but I do like the concept of going outside of my comfort zone and being closer to nature, getting some of this nice vitamin D from the sun,
yeah.
and it's like sharing that experience. So you can go to SoFloVegans.com, go to our Facebook page, you'll see the event promoted, and here's a special that we're going to be giving to you. We're going to be, if you put in the promo code SoFloVIP, you will get $15 off the price that we have currently right now.
Nice, thank you so much.
So,
that's awesome.
Well, thank you. So I look forward to seeing all of you people, all you great people out on the water with us. It's going to be, tell us a little bit about what they can expect on
Yeah, so we'll be meeting at Dania Beach down by the pier in the parking lot at 8:30 in the morning, and we're going to go for a 2.5 kayak tour where we'll take you to some really beautiful mangrove tunnels. You're going to get to see some wildlife. We're going to see these really beautiful lakes that a lot of people don't get a chance to see, and when you open up out of the mangrove tunnel into this lake, it is like, it's so beautiful. And then we'll also get a chance to explore a little bit of Ann Kolb Nature Center and talk a lot about sustainability and continue this discussion on the water. So that'll be Sunday from 8:30 to 11:30. We'll make sure that we add the link here in the notes section. And otherwise, I'm really excited to share more with you and to learn more about the Soflo Vegan community. We're attending events and learning all the time. Definitely check them out. Like I said, every month they have something really fun going on. And at the end of the day, it's always good to make new friends and to be around like-minded people. So thank you so much, Sean, for spending this time with us.
And I actually have one more thing.
Yes.
As you were saying it, I'm feeling like being generous right now. So for everyone that does join us, I will have a special gift for you. And that gift will be something that I'm actually wearing on my wrist right now. So this, we're actually selling on our website. So for everyone that attends, we will be giving them a bracelet. And this actually right here, some of you might know what this is. This is the International Vegan Flag. So if you are vegan or not vegan, this is a good way just to kind of show your connection to just nature, compassion. That's really what it represents. So you don't even have to be vegan, but it can kind of show that, hey, I kind of respect the movement, and maybe one day I'll be there. So.
Solid, I like it. Well, thank you so much. Thank you very much again, Sean. And we'll have all those details down there below. If you ever have any questions, don't ever hesitate to reach out. And as always, we love spending these beautiful afternoons with you for our conversations by the water. We love Fort Lauderdale. You see why. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Here's to making awesome, meaningful moments. Bye.